Hello there, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to another video by me, Mr. Drone. You'll be able to see I am in front of the new Everton Stadium down at Bramley Moor Dock once again, here to do my midweek video. A little later than usual, couldn't do it yesterday, it rained all day. Anyway, nice and bright today, get up in the air and get the video done. Before I do, I wanted to mention quickly that I did say earlier in the week on a couple of my videos that I was going to raise as much as we can, or we're going to raise as much as we can for Zoe's Place. Zoe's Place is a local children's hospice that provides end-of-life palliative and respite care to babies and children ages 0 to 5 years old and their families. It announced last week that it was having to close because of a lack of funding for new premises. Everybody in Liverpool's rallying around to try and stop this from happening because it's such an important place. It really is. On, I think it was Monday or Tuesday this week, I had £30 in my Buy Me a Coffee account that I shared. I will now share this. I think it's £235 that we have. Let me just double check that on. I'll share the screenshot now, but I think it was that. Yes, 235. That's £205 we've raised in like 2 days. Thank you so much to everybody who's donated. That will go, I'll keep sharing the balance, it will go to Zoe's Place at the end of this month, okay? So anybody who wants to donate, links there, I'll share it at the end as well. Anyway, let's get up in the air and do the midweek video covering your questions and comments for you to go through today. Let's get up there. Okay everybody, you'll see I'm already up in the air there looking at the East Standing Plaza, as I always am, to be honest with you. That's the way we start the video, isn't it? Right, let's start straight in with your questions and comments, because it could be a bit of a longer one this. As I said, I've got 13 or 14 to get through, so let's make a start with Keith Woodgate 5593, who says, love all your videos, Nick. Thanks, Keith. Well done and thank you. I have a question that I've been thinking about for some time. How are 50,000 fans leaving the area via free gates in that long wall? Great stadium from FC fans at Ipswich Town fan, is it, Keith? So yeah, you're saying how are 50,000 fans leaving through? So we've got 1, 2, 3. And let's pop down here. 4, 5, I think it is. So you've said from free gates. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 there, Keith. So it's not free for a start, but I still get your point, and it's been raised before, Keith. There's going to be like bottlenecking and stuff like that. But what I will say, Keith, is the hope here, I think, and the general thoughts and feelings and design is that the bars and restaurants and entertainment and that in this stand here, the east and the west at the other side, will remain open after the games. So there's not much, as we've already shown, or I've shown in my videos. If you haven't seen, take a look when I've had a walk around the area and a fly around the area. There's not much else outside and around, so people will most likely stay. And not everybody, I don't think they're expecting everybody to leave like a mass exodus at the same time, but if there is, it's still doable through those 5 gates, Keith. So yes, thanks very much for that, but it's not going to be a problem. There's always slow traffic, isn't there, when you leave Goodison, Anfield, whatever stadium you leave, there's a bit of slow traffic getting, when you're like kind of all leaving at the same time. So of course there will be a bit of that, but that's just the same with every stadium you go to. Thanks for that, mate. Jürgen Voot, don't know why I said it like that. Jürgen Voot 1638. Great as usual, Nick. Can you please tell me what they will do with the white metal sticking out the east side under the barrel cladding? Thank you. Duncan the Blue has said lights for the barrel cladding. Let's go in a bit closer. You're going to have a look. We did point this out during my weekend video. You seen I did concentrate on it. You're talking here, and you can see a couple of them at the end do already have lights on. There You see the end ones, and we'll just go over to the ones closer in. That one has, and then these ones haven't yet. But then if we look over to the other end, the south end, we'll see that these have, looks like all of them have at this end, I think. So they're lights on those extended white poles. Oh no, not all of them have. Those ones haven't. But yeah, they're lights, Jürgen, okay. Thank you very much. Move on. Sorry, my phone's closed. I need to sort that out so it doesn't close all the time. Next comment stroke question after Jürgen is John Taylor 2502, who says, "Hi Nick, as I said to another droner, wouldn't it be good to get some old railway buffers at the end of the track and maybe an old dock train down here, you mean?" John, yeah, old railway buffers and maybe an old dock train. Would it be good? I don't know. I see what you're saying. For me, the site just looks so clean, and I think the where are they? Like these. Is that one bollards? Sorry, guys, I'm saying is that one. My screen is very bright at the moment. Really bright here. I've got a bobble hat on as well. You've noticed at the beginning. It's warmer than I was expecting. So I think the old dock bollards are a good touch. That are like throughout the East Plaza, John. To put like the what did you call them? The railway buffers, was it, or stoppers? Let's find you. Railway buffers. Maybe an old dock train for me, definitely not. Definitely not. I think you'd just be taking up space when this is the fan plaza, remember? So put an old dock train there. I think you'd be encouraging people, kids especially, to climb. I get that you'd probably want it to be, you know, enclosed and secure, but that's even more space, and I personally don't think so for me. What's everybody else's thoughts on that though? It's a nice idea, John, but just not for me, if I'm totally honest. Be grateful for anybody else's thoughts on it though. Moving on from John, thanks very much for your comments, well, John. Moving on from John, I've got Pamela Morgan, who says, "This video was absolutely brilliant." Thanks, Pamela. "They keep me going while my husband's in hospital. I love looking at them and I look forward to seeing more of our new stadium. Come on, you Blues, up the Toffees." Thank you, Mr. Drone, again from Pamela Morgan. So, Pamela, first things first, I really hope your husband is okay, doing well. And Pamela, I think it was yourself that I spoke to at the Newcastle game, was it, in Goodison? And you did tell me about your husband. Is his name Cliff, is it? Anyway, Pamela, thanks for sharing, thanks for commenting, and yeah, from me and I'm sure everybody else watching, we wish you and your husband all the best, we really do. Thank you very much. And up the Toffees, yeah. Moving on, I've got Mark Hudson, who says, "Hi Nick, from not a sunny Stoke, a masterpiece of design and engineering, and of course drone flying, so close to being ready. Just a quick thought for your comments video. Are they putting a decking in the West Plaza right next to the water, as there's a metal structure? I'm sure some of your followers will know, as may you. Keep these coming, as Sundays and Wednesdays, but Sundays and Wednesdays won't be the same." Thanks very much, Mark. Okay, you'll see I am moving round now. Just realised I'm 90 metres up as well. So I'm moving round to the south because you've mentioned the West Plaza, but then you mentioned the metal structure, didn't you? Which is, just moving closer to it now, which is there. So what have you said? Are they putting a deck in? Yeah, I believe it's going to be a composite deck in. Can't see any at the moment. don't think anyway. But yeah, I believe so. But I'll leave that to others to 100% confirm. But I believe so. I believe it's going to be a composite decking. But it does look like they've laid stone all down there. But I believed it was going to be. If that's where you're on about, mate, I'm pretty sure it is. Anybody else? The usuals. Answer that. Confirm it for me and confirm it for Mark for us, please, if you could. Moving on. Thank you very much for that, Mark, by the way. Moving on, I have Tony Ward. This is a big one, Tony. Right. Tony says, I tell you what, let me get round and we'll look at the south stand for a bit. Right, sorry, just moving into position there and getting eyes on me drone. So, Tony Ward says, hi Nick, the stadium looks ace. It does, Tony, mate. But I've spotted a little thing that might be a safety issue on match days. We've all been to football grounds, so you'll understand about the mad dash to clear the ground when the final whistle goes. And this causes congestion and pinch points. And people will go out of their way to avoid these hold-ups. So I've noticed on the Nelson Dock side, south stand, that's down here. The waterside protection fence is set back from the water's edge by around 3 metres. Zooming into it for you there, Tony. And is low enough for a young fella to jump over and use this 3-metre walkway as a kind of fast lane to beat the congestion when the ground empties. And if too many people have the same idea, there's a risk of ending up in the dock. Stewards won't be able to stop people jumping over the fence. Maybe they should have moved the fence right against the dock edge, like they have on the west side, thus eliminating this scenario and also widening the area, creating more space. Tony, it's a good spot of concern. What I think, though, I mean, of course, it's a risk. I hope we haven't just highlighted this for people to consider when they're here. But what I will say, Tony, if you look at that vehicle there, right? Look at this area that runs under this stand. I've been there as well. I've been under this, right? It is massive. Look at tell you what, there's one man there, and look at the size of the area compared to one man. There's more. This is as wide as, God, what would I say? 4 roads or something like that. That's more than enough space for people to walk down, even a crowd leaving a stadium. And I can't imagine that would be somebody's fault to hop over and go, well, do you know what? Of course it might be 1 or 2, but, and I get your point, Tony, but my point is that this area here that people will walk under, that south stand, is huge. It really is. More than enough for traffic to keep, for people to keep moving and not cause too many holds up. Bearing in mind what we covered earlier as well, that this west stand will have its bars and that open, and the east down there after the game is finished. And they hope that not everybody will leave at exactly the same time. It's a good point, Tony. It is. I just hope that it's not going to be an issue, as I'm sure everybody does. I certainly won't be jumping over any fence just to save myself a few minutes, put it that way. Cheers though, mate. Moving on, we've got at JHJL1, who says, thanks for spotlighting the spotlights. I had asked on another droner's video, don't know what that mea culpa, what the white posts were for, and the number of people had correctly identified their purpose. Is this what that long white rail beneath the upper south stand glazing will be used for down here? Do you mean, would that be used for lighting, do you, JHJ? Darren Cowles has replied saying, I'm thinking there will need to be a massive gutter added to the bottom of the south stand glass panels. Otherwise the rain would pour down these huge sheets a waterfall to rival Old Trafford, but on the outside. Right, okay, a few things there. Yes, there may be lights put down here, JHJ. There may be lights, some sort of lighting put there. Darren, regarding the big gutter, there's not going to be the need for big gutter down there. We've had a lot of rain already, and one thing we haven't seen, we've seen some rain inside because they hadn't finished the what was it called, the siphonage system inside. We haven't seen massive waterfalls, as you said, of rain running down this south stand, have we? Outside the south and causing a waterfall to rival Old Trafford. We haven't seen that. Hasn't happened. I'll tell you what, that glass, how good does that reflection look in the glass? Let's come down a bit. Just looks stunning, that, doesn't it? Really, really does. Really enjoy that view. But yeah, Darren, I don't think that's a problem, and I hope not. I haven't seen any rain yet. Bear in mind the roofing that's been up for a while now on that south, and it's not been a problem, has it? So thank you very much for that, JHJ and Darren Cowser. Moving on, Mark Shuns, 7774. It says blue highlights going onto the steps. I have to come high for this. 106 metres. Blue highlights going onto the steps up to the west stand is interesting. Also, what's going on with the paving next to the water channel? Is that going to be some kind of boardwalk effect? Okay, Duncan the Blue has said composite decking. Yeah, I think that was what we mentioned down here. But let's just come round to this west where you've said blue steps. Blue highlights going onto the steps is interesting, is what you've said, Mark. I'm going to get round here. A little bit higher. And we're going to look down at these blue highlights. So they had some of these inside on the steps inside at one point. And it was just tape. It was blue tape where they're putting the anti-slip down. So I personally think it's still that. See, look, it's the anti-slip there. So the blue, what you're seeing blue there, it's just tape. You know, whilst they put that anti-slip down. So that's what that is. That's a loud truck. Okay, Mark. And where you said steps next to the west, down here where they're putting the composite decking, was it maybe here? It was a Dunk the Blue. Can you confirm for me, is it there right next to the water channel? We're on about, so are they putting it, is it going up to here? This is already paved, isn't it? Dunk will clarify that for me, I'm absolutely certain. He's a good lad. And the rest of us. But yeah, Mark, as I said, that blue you see on the steps is tape. I'm certain of that. Moving on, I've got GamerXX943 says, good fit as always, Nick, cheers. Do we know yet the entrance for the football players when they are off to the changing room? PS, from the outside, I can see the one inside, thanks to the comments. It's there, mate. PS Gamer. That's where they'll go. So on a nice day like today, the coach will bring them right up the north stand, up there, under the north. The coach will stop there, and they'll come across here on a nice day like today, and they'll enter in there, go under that, in there. On a not so nice day, windy, wet, horrible, snow, sleet, thunder, lightning, whatever, coach will stop there, they'll go in through there. Alright, Gamer. cheers for that. Sorry, I'm already like almost 20 minutes in, so I best hurry up. Stephen Lyndon Wyatt says, hi Nick, thanks for the great video. On your midweek vid, could you take a close look at the pitch side east stand? Pitch side east stand. So let's go in a bit. Pitch side east stand is the black tarmac. It's soil, I think, mate. What this is soil. Topsoil, I think. It's not tarmac. They had a bit in the corner, but done a bit more of that now, haven't they? But yeah, it's soil, mate. If that's what you're referring to. What do you mean down there? I can't tell from this small screen. If you mean that down there, I'm not sure if that's tarmac or not. Can't tell from the screen at the moment. So I think you might mean there now that I've looked at it, mate. So any assistance on that for Stephen, can you let us know, please, guys? Moving on, David Sullivan 7743 says the pitch still looks to be way off being seeded. Wasn't it due to happen in August? Does anyone know when it's being done? Can't wait to see some grass. Stephen Wyatt, who's just had the last one, has said no, due in October. And Dunk the Blue said they need to complete the groundworks in the corners and all along the western edge before the root zone layer can be applied to the rest of the pitch. Probably in the next couple of weeks or so. There you go then, David, there you go. Keep an eye on it next couple of weeks. They're definitely working on it, as we can see at the moment. And yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. It was initially, we were told initially it was planned to start in August, but that I'm sure even when they hand over, Langeroy can't hand over to Everton to start doing their like internal fits and stuff like that. I'm sure that the pitch can still keep going. Still got a long time before it's due to be played on, remember. Cheers David, Stephen and Dunk for that. Moving on, Andrew Ackers says, hi Nick, always great videos. Cheers Andrew. Don't get the fencing outside the north stand from the main gates to the stadium is one type of fencing, but the northwest side is another type of fence with a curved top. What's that all about? Let's just have a look. Here we are, over the north corner. I'm going to back up a bit so we can see it a bit better. There. I was looking at the shadow of it then. There's the curved part that you're referring to, Andy. And we've got some answers for you. Which is, Ross says, because the taller ones will help the wind coming off the Mersey. Stevens also said the taller ones near the waterway will also act as a wind barrier. And Dunk the Blue said, yeah, designed to provide further protection from bad weather, wind and rain. The players will be dropped off here at the Northern West Plaza Terrace Tunnel entrance in bad weather, and this fence will reduce the impact of the elements at this very exposed site. There you go. Andrew, it's a great spot there. And Ross, Stephen, Dunk, thank you very much for the info. That's what that curved fence is for, guys. Last but not least, here I have Ben Valenchuk, okay. Anyway, who says, I just showed this to my wife and she asked, why aren't the bricks blue? Dunk the Blue has replied saying, tell her because they have to match other dock buildings nearby, such as the tobacco warehouse, and requirements from Historic England and the council. So yeah, let's look. Ben Valenchuk, let's look over at all these buildings over here. Oh, this brick, like classic dock bricks and buildings. So to have a big blue stadium just wouldn't look right and in keeping with it. So that is why guys, we are going to finish off there, 23 minutes in. Okay, there you go, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that video. There were some good ones there, quite a few. I could have done more as well, but I always want to keep it around 20-25 minutes, to be honest. But yeah, 13, I think we went through there. So thank you, everybody. Keep sharing your comments and questions, anything you want us to look at, because everything does really get covered. If I don't know the answer, people on the channel usually will and bring the answers to us, so thank you to them as well. Guys, I'll finish off there. So it's been going on for quite a long time, this one. Please like, share, subscribe. The link for my Buy Me a Coffee is there. All donations will go to Zoe's place. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care. Bye now.